Welcome to the franchise, episode number 72.
Welcome, everybody. My
This-
name is Henry Papali, and we are welcoming you to Halloween 5. My co-host is...
I am Daniel Ehrenberg, and I have the darkest eyes. The devil's eyes. There's nothing inside of me.
the dead. Pure evil. Pure evil. Yeah. Yeah.
It's getting a little tired.
We are at the halfway point, everybody.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Halloween's boring.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not having the time of my life, like Dirty Dancing would say.
We should have done Nightmare on Elm Street.
I'm not going that far. I'm happy to be watching these movies. Having said that, they aren't as fun as Friday the 13th. That's for sure.
Once you're done with that second one, man, there's nothing left.
Well, but I didn't know.
Last week we had a guest, and that helped me get it together.
Mm-hmm.
This week, I'm flailing.
So, are you preparing? Are you telling our listeners to just not get ready to not have a great episode? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
It's good. It's good.
It's a good way to start.
Great start. I feel psyched.
Yeah, me too. Okay, you want to talk about it?
Yeah. Just turn
Listen,
your mic off.
gang, today we're covering Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, and Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, the non-Rob Zombie nadir of the Halloween franchise.
Well, that's what bummed me out, was because once we got to 5 and 6, I knew after that we were getting into the post-Scream era, and we were going to kind of be done with the, canon of just fun slasher films. But, problem with 5 and 6, not so fun.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Halloween mostly skipped the 80s, and that's when we were making fun slasher movies.
I think that's the problem.
These movies aren't fun, bro.
Yeah. And they don't have bad enough ideas that are pulled off badly enough to make them Friday the 13th worthy. Like, we don't have, what I mean is we don't have Mike Myers going to Manhattan. We don't have him in space. There's
fighting
not enough.
a telekinetic girl.
Yeah, it's just not, they don't have the same zip.
Oomph.
Yeah, same zip oomph.
I need a little oomph out of this series.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's this Mustafa Akkad fool.
I agree. He's going to come up a little bit.
Yeah. All right. You wanna talk about Halloween 5?
Well, you want to give the stats?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to do.
Yeah.
Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Got a new director, Dominique Othenin Girard. Okay?
Yeah, this guy's got an incredible resume.
Supposedly recommended to Mustafa Akkad by Deborah Hill.
Yeah, I don't know what she was thinking.
Maybe she was trying to throw this franchise under the bus.
I love it. That'd be great. Maybe that's what she was trying to do.
I don't know. What is he, like a porno director? Like you look him up on IMDb. I'm looking at a lot of boobs.
I'm looking at, he has a lot of movies that says, Red Shoe Diaries. I love it. Omen 4.
Omen 4, that's probably legit. But look at this. He directed a movie called Private Lessons, Another Story. Professional photographer Lauren travels to Miami to find the next hottest model for her shoot. She hooks up with her emotional Cuban limo driver Raul, But then her cheating, sleazy husband Steven shows up, as well as hot Marissa.
Oh man!
Hot Marissa.
In the 90s and 2000s, he worked in Germany, the U.S., and Italy, directing films on topics as diverse as organ transplants and action thrillers.
Here's a more legit movie he made. Beyond Desire, 1995's Beyond Desire with William Forsythe.
Really?
An ex-con joins forces with a sexy, high-priced call girl to help clear his name from a murder charge 14 years earlier, while a brutal gangster is after him for the location of some stolen money.
Sounds great. Well, I like William Forsythe.
You gonna see that movie?
Nope,
Why not?
but I like him. Because it was directed by Dominique Othenin-Girard. I'll pass.
You'll pass. Okay.
I'm passing big
All
time.
right. We've got new writers, of course, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
We've got Michael Jacobs and Shem Bitterman. All right? Shem Bitterman.
Shem Bitterman.
So who are these guys? Who are these
I think
jokers?
Shem Bitterman co-wrote Network, and so that's his big credit.
I don't believe that to be true.
It's correct. You're right.
Shem Bitterman, I'm looking at him right now. He's written nothing that I've ever heard of. And Michael Jacobs, did he create Boy Meets World? No,
Sure.
he did not. They're nobodies, these guys. Listen,
No.
and it has to be said that they rushed out Halloween 5.
Big time. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this was released October 13th, 1989, less than a year after Halloween 4.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's not good. They got a budget of $3 million here, box office of $11.6 million. It's not great. Not what you want.
Not what you want. No. Yeah, that's barely. Well, they tripled the.
Yeah, I know. Came in at number 76 at the box office between Gross Anatomy.
Oh, I remember that.
What's that?
I think it's a Matthew Modine joint.
Of course it is. Matthew Modine. He's only ever been in movies I don't give a shit about.
Except Full Metal Jacket, you're right.
Oh, yeah. Good point. And She's Out of Control.
Wow.
Who was out of control, Hank?
Shem Bitterman.
Did She Gotta Have It also?
That was Deborah Hill.
Yeah. Okay.
When was this released?
October 13th, 1989. You see what they did there?
It's the day after Columbus Day. So it must have been like that type of celebration of that mass murderer type thing. Is that what they were going for?
Yeah, sure. That's what you think?
I'm thinking, I guess, right? October 13th, maybe it was Friday the 13th, maybe? Was it a Friday?
Probably was. Probably was.
Yeah, so like a day after Columbus Day, Friday the 13th, I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to do our top 10 lists for 1989?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I have to note that I just made these lists right before this episode.
Yes.
I can't find my old lists.
He'll find them, folks, eventually, but not today.
Yeah.
All right. Number 10. Yeah, we did this list when we had our guest Jan Martino on for Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
And Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Right, but I mean 89. Yes. Correct. All right, my number 10 was my famous tie that you didn't like, was Fabulous Baker Boys and Black Rain.
It's bullshit.
Okay.
My number 10 is Back to the Future Part 2.
All right. My number 9 is Sea of Love.
My number 9 is Heathers.
Right. My number 8 is Major League.
My number 8, let me find it, is Roger and Me.
Yes. My number 7 is Sex, Lies, and Videotape.
My number 7 is The War of the Roses.
Excelente. My number 6 is Glory.
Mine is My Left Foot.
Ooh. My number 5 is Drugstore Cowboy.
Mine too.
Look at that.
Hey.
My number 4 is Born on the 4th of July.
Mine is Sex, Lies, and Videotape.
All right. My number 3 is Do the Right Thing.
Okay. My number 3 is Jim Jarmusch's Mystery Train. Oh, we're sick of each other today.
My number 2 is Crimes and Misdemeanors.
Mine too.
And my number 1 movie of 1989 is My Left Foot.
The number 1 movie of 1989 and my favorite film of all time is Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing.
Can't argue with that.
No, you can just argue that it's not as good as My Left Foot.
The argument could be made, I guess. Yeah, it's true.
By a whitey like you. Right. Fucking cracker over there. Crack-ass cracker.
Crack-ass cracker. I will be noted, I was humming Tupac Shakur before we went on the air.
Oh, that ups your street cred.
I think it does, right?
No.
Okay. All right, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. It picks up right when he falls down the mine shaft.
Mine
4.
shaft?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look. He's the last
get a little pep in your step here, buddy.
All
Come
right.
on.
The last movie you might recall, Jamie Lloyd, our young Danielle Harris.
Yeah.
She went evil.
She went evil. She went evil. Yes.
She had a heel turn. And she went and like murdered her parents or some shit. And but now what we're doing is we're taking a step back from that. Michael Myers is going to get his revenge in this movie. So we see Michael Myers escape. He goes whitewater rafting.
He does.
Yeah.
That was an interesting touch.
Yeah, he just goes burbling down a lazy river.
I think that was my favorite part of the movie.
It's pretty good.
It was. I've never seen that happen before to a masked serial killer. Yeah. Yeah.
And then he ends up at a little cabin, and a fella takes him in.
Little hermit.
Yeah.
That's my first note that I took was, what the fuck is the timeline here? When I realized that this hermit has been basically tending to an unconscious Michael Myers for 1 year.
Yeah, we'll get there. So after Michael goes, rafting down that babbling brook,
Up a lazy river.
Yeah, this hermit takes him in, and Mikey Myers is unconscious for a year because we do a 1 year later.
Right.
Where Michael wakes up and kills this fella. God, and what an ungrateful piece of shit Michael Myers is.
He really is. I mean, this guy had even the decency to never take Mike's... Oh, no, he did take his mask off.
The mask is off.
The mask is off. So he did have the decency to take the mask off, but he presumably was had him hooked up to an IV, was feeding him, cleaning him.
There was no IV in this apartment.
Definitely.
But I will say this guy seems to have one cot. That's his entire apartment, and Michael Myers is sleeping there. So this fella's taking the floor for a year.
he's squatting on a squatter's cot, which is just really unconscionable. I mean,
That being said, Henry, let's take another look at this.
okay.
Maybe this guy's not such a good guy.
Ooh.
So he's been taking care of Michael Myers for a year. Why hasn't he reported this guy to the authorities? Like, hey, I found a missing guy in a Halloween costume. He's unconscious. I got him.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Well,
Michael Myers waking up a little bit sore in a few areas.
So what you're saying is this hobo was maybe having his way with him for 365 days.
I think that's true.
Oh boy. Well then no wonder Michael's pissed. Yeah. Okay, well if you put it like that.
Yeah.
Then,
I'm trying to give Michael Myers the benefit of the doubt here on this one murder.
Who wouldn't? Yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Jamie Lloyd, she's mute.
Right.
And she's in like a kid's mental facility.
Yeah, what is she in? Very strange. It's like a house for kids.
Come on, they have these in every horror movie. There's a trope at this point. There's one of these in Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's one of these in Friday the 13th. Remember? No, it's Tommy Doyle's this one. With Tommy Jarvis. Remember Feldman?
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up because when Tommy Doyle pops up in 6, I was like, what is this, a crossover inter-universe thing here? I got very confused.
You thought it was Tommy Jarvis?
Yeah, don't change the name. I don't need 2 Tommies in 2 of the big... as the, you know...
And he's grown up in 6.
Exactly.
Can't he, like, pull, like, a Rick Schroeder or a, you know what I mean? Like, when they change their names to sound more grown up, he could be Thomas Doyle.
Right. He's no Paul Stephen Rudd, though. Paul Michael Rudd, sorry. No, Paul Stephen Rudd.
It is Stephen. I fucked it up.
Yeah, last week you
said
Yeah, Stephen.
I think I've been saying Paul Michael Rudd making fun of this movie for years, and it's Paul Stephen Rudd.
That's all right. I'm sure Rudd would join us on that. But we'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Danielle, we further explore her telepathic link with her Uncle Mike.
Get out of here with that.
Yeah, I agree. Donald Pleasant's not happy with the telepathic link. He's rather verbally abusive to her.
Oh, he's very abusive. He's touching on her. It's not good. I don't. Donald Pleasance is weird in this movie.
Yeah.
You know, they keep telling him leave her alone, and I'm with the workers at this facility
for once.
Yeah. I mean, give her some space.
Right. She doesn't always need to be dealing with this. My God.
Henry, I skipped a very important note.
What's that?
This movie, I knew very early on was going to be a bad movie. Mm-hmm. And it is because that hobo fella had a parrot.
Oh, yeah.
And you know my rule.
What's that? Don't have an animal as your sidekick?
Nope, just parrot. Parrot equals bad movie.
I didn't know that.
We've talked about it on the podcast, Henry.
Well, who had a parrot?
Home Alone 3.
Oh, yeah.
And we encountered a parrot in Weekend at Bernie's 2.
Ooh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, and the parrot is saying something that I guess we're supposed to know what he's saying because he keeps repeating, but I couldn't figure it out. Well, I thought maybe he was, saying danger, danger or something, but I didn't bother to, throw the subtitles on.
I don't have time for this parrot.
No. Neither did most of the movie, so.
Well, does he kill the parrot, Michael?
I don't think so. I think
this like a Dumb and Dumber situation?
I think the parrot makes it out.
Oh, good for the parrot.
Yeah.
You should have come to the rescue at the end of the movie.
The parrot? Yeah.
Yeah.
Magical parrot. Yeah, sure.
So, yeah, back to the telepathic link. one thing I don't like about this movie is Donald Pleasance constantly talking about how she needs to let go of Michael's rage.
Right.
Now, I thought the whole fun of Michael and Donald Pleasance's whole interest in Michael is that he's not full of rage. He just kills. Like, that's why it's so scary that he kills, because he's not angry at anything. He just wants to kill people.
Right. Well, it's like kind of confusing because they give Loomis like they can't make up Loomis's mind whether Loomis thinks that Myers is redeemable or he's not. Like he seems to seesaw back and forth from thinking,
Well, I think in the early movies he just wants to kill Michael.
Right.
He thinks Michael should be dead, and in this movie he is looking at a little rehabilitation.
Yeah, and I don't. That's a bad idea. I think. Yeah, which is explored further in this movie later, with the unmasking and all that shit.
Oh, yeah, you mean when Michael, a.k.a. Uncle Boogeyman, cries a single tear? We'll get there. You want to talk about some of the other characters in this baby?
Oh, man. Well, I will. Yeah, I'll say that.
I think teens.
There are some teens. Some of the worst teens we've had
in
ever.
any movie.
In any movie. And I mean worst actors, and I mean worst just characters.
Rachel is back, who I liked in the first movie.
Yeah.
But she's kind of like a bubble-headed idiot in this movie for some reason, and then she gets killed really early.
Right.
It's almost as if like Mustafa Akkad didn't have enough confidence in Ellie Cornell to give her a bigger role in this movie. So It was just, let's kill her early.
I don't think he had enough confidence in anything.
No, he had confidence in that one girl who's all over this fucking movie.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, she's not the worst teen, though.
She is. She's the worst teen. She's my LVP.
Really?
Yeah. She's attractive enough, but like...
Yeah, she is.
Wendy Foxworth is the actress. She plays Tina.
Yeah.
She's in nothing else.
Well...
What?
She wasn't as bad to me as her boyfriend.
Oh, you mean...
Mikey.
You mean that Jewy guy?
The guy with the car.
Yeah, the Fonz.
Oh, you thought he was Jewy?
Well, they reference him being Jewish in dialogue at one point.
Do they?
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, Mikey, which annoyed me at first because I hate when movies have two characters that have the same name or similar names. It drives me nuts. You can't have Mikey in your Michael Myers movie. But then when I saw they were just going to like kill him and then have like Michael Myers take his identity for a second, I was okay with it.
I was real happy to see that guy.
This guy didn't bother me at all. I thought he was funny.
I couldn't stand him. I was glad he got killed. I actually wanted a more violent death, and that didn't really happen.
How does he get killed? He like a pickaxe or something?
Like a pitchfork sort of thing through the face.
Yeah.
Not violent enough for me.
Rachel gets killed with scissors, which is
oddly,
not a great way to go.
Oddly edited too. And I read about that too. That was the actress Ellie Cornell. She didn't want her death to be that gruesome, so they cut it back.
Oh, definitely listen to the nobody actress.
Right, and why would she care if her death was? Wouldn't you want to at least go out in this piece of shit with some valor
in a blaze of gory?
Yeah, I mean, why would you argue for that?
Acknowledge that amazing pun, please.
I was just gonna kind of let it fly, like it was a great pun. I was just gonna let you. Okay,
I wanna notice it.
Okay,
because I'm proud of it. I came up with it right then.
It was a very good pun.
Thank you.
It's a very good pun. Yes.
Who else are we dealing with in this movie?
Full stop. Who else are we dealing with?
There's that blonde guy who's like a real prankster.
Oh my god. Oh my god. The longest, hardest scene to get through in that movie was that entire stretch at the, what do they call it? The worst name for a place. The Tower Farm or the Tower Party. We're going to the Tower Farm. Remember that? And it's like this dumb fucking party, and then they go into a barn, and that just lasts forever.
Henry, I was okay with the barn.
Really? Oh, yeah, because there's a sex scene?
No.
Oh. Why? Because you like barns?
No, because they found a lot of cute kittens in the barn.
Yeah, what were they doing in that barn? Like,
Those
it's
kittens
like,
were so cute.
yeah, they were cute, and they were spared as well.
Yeah.
But it led me to think. Michael Myers doesn't have he doesn't care about animals. I mean, that's in the first movie. He's eating rats and he kills dogs. So maybe he's got a soft spot for birds and cats. I don't know.
Well, he's a cat man. A cat man. He's a cat man Scruthers.
I knew you were going to say that. They make it out unscythed, if you know what I mean.
Oh my god! What an episode this is turning out to be. This is what happens when I drink tea during an episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It empowers your pun skills.
I'm like turning into a dad.
Yeah. You're turning into an English gentleman by drinking Earl Grey. What kind of tea is it?
I don't know. It's cheap. I made it myself. I've been drinking a lot of peppermint tea lately, but this is garbage.
Okay.
But it's good.
Yeah. Garbage tea. Yeah.
No, I shouldn't say that. It's delicious. It's Traditional Medicinals. That's the brand. I just don't know what it is. I'm trying to be funny. There's a proverb on my tea bag. It says, "Plant kindness and gather love."
Oh.
Okay.
Will you be adhering to that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Save it for the end of the episode, though. Don't do it during this episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, where are we? We're at the barn already.
We might as well be. I mean, then that leads to the. Well. Wait, Michael. Besides the whitewater rafting, he's driving a lot. He after he kills Mike, he steals his car.
Yeah, and he's got a real nice car.
Michael likes driving, I think. He drives a lot in the first movie.
He was cooped up in that mental facility for so long. He wants to get out on the open road.
Yeah, and he's wearing a goblin mask.
Yeah. Tina tries to fuck him.
Right.
That's happening a lot to Michael. Accidentally, people try to fuck him.
It's very true. It happens in Halloween 2. He almost gets in the spa with that girl, and
the spa. Yeah. That disgusting STD-ridden hot tub is not a spa.
In 1982, I think that was a spa.
There's just herpes floating in that thing.
It's a herpes bath. That's why he doesn't get in. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very clean. When you've been killed that many times by so many methods, you don't want to get herpes.
He does seem... Yeah, is he a virgin, Michael Myers? I guess so, right? I mean, unless this hobo banged him at the beginning of this movie.
I was just going to say, until that happened, sure. Yeah. And unless he, got it on in the institution with some of those Sam Hain people.
Yeah, maybe he needs some sweet loving.
I think that's
maybe that would cure Michael Myers.
Yeah, I think a lot of these guys.
I would love a Halloween sequel where Sam Loomis, like that movie Milk Money, or that scene in the first episode of The Deuce where those kids try to get that kid to lose his virginity to Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yeah,
I want a Halloween movie where Sam Loomis takes Michael to New York City to get him laid by a hooker.
Yeah, he's just pimping him.
No, the opposite. He's like...
Well, no, I mean, yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah. Look, here's my buddy. He has to wear a mask. Just go with it. I mean, it's New York. They wouldn't care.
Oh, are you kidding me? The mask would not even be noticed.
No. I mean, we took Jason to Manhattan. Why can't we take Michael at the same time?
Yeah, how come these movies are always in Illinois? Wait, is Halloween 7 in California? We'll get there next week.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it might be.
Uh-oh. Not only are these movies not just in Illinois, they never make it to Chicago.
It's true.
Yeah.
Can't we have him take a city?
I know, man. They should have done that. We're just sticking within the parameters of Haddonfield. Yeah. Yeah.
It's boring. Now I'd like to talk about a couple of my favorite characters in this movie.
All right.
The bumbling sheriffs, deputies.
Oh my God. I would like to talk about the third character in that. It's a trio. It's the two bumbling sheriffs and their musical cue.
Well, yeah. Well, the first time you hear them, the first time you see them on screen, I was excited to hear a slide whistle.
I thought, and I don't know, you might have caught it, but I thought that was like, yeah. Do you have that queued up somewhere, or are you just doing that?
No, I'm a great whistler.
Oh,
I'm a world-renowned whistler. Not a lot of people know that about me.
Because I cue, like I have the AFI cue. That's not live. I wondered if you do the whistle.
Oh, I should. I should have some cues.
Yeah, I just have the AFI cue.
Can I hear it real quick?
Yeah, let me get it. Let me get it queued up here on my board. AFI.
No, that's the one I don't like. I like the lazier one.
Okay, I got it under voice file, MP3 file. All right, hold on. Okay. AFI.
Great.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah.
did you know that next year is the 20th anniversary of their when they started doing those lists?
Oh my God.
And I read that AFI might update at least the best movies of all time list.
I smell bonus episodes.
I smell so many bonus episodes.
Yeah, strictly devoted to AFI.
Yeah.
I think our fans would like that.
I think we're 100% going to do that.
All right, good.
Okay.
But yeah, when that slide whistle happened, I initially thought, well, it's Halloween. Maybe there was a maybe there was a kid in the background doing like a Halloween prank. And then I realized, nope.
It's the score. Who did the score in this movie, Henry? That's your job.
The same fucking guy who did the other ones, Alan Howarth, was just getting worse and worse, and showing that without Carpenter, he's got nothing. I mean, is there a kazoo in this too?
Yep.
Yeah. So the cops have a musical cue. Oh, that one flailed a little bit. That one flailed a little bit.
I'm a little sick.
That's okay. Yeah.
There you go.
I like how it gets weaker and weaker.
Leave me alone.
No, it's good. It's like the movie. Weaker and weaker. Yeah.
All right, so they get killed at this barn. Whatever. Listen, Tina is set up to be this super important character.
Yeah.
Like, she's all over this fucking movie, and she never shuts up. She never stops moving. She's always just dancing around whatever scene she's in. Wearing a...
Yeah.
I don't even know what
she's on something, because she's, like, way too energetic and...
She never stopped. It's 1989. It's cocaine, let's be real.
Yeah, but, definitely, for sure.
I mean, and then when she doesn't die, but she just disappears from the third act of this movie for no reason. And I am fine with it.
No, she dies. He kills her with something.
No.
Yes. He gets out of the car, and she's in the field, and she, quote-unquote, sacrifices herself to let the kids get away.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, right, because Jamie is trolling around with, like, a friend in this movie.
A stutterer. Yeah.
Yeah. What's his name, Billy?
Yeah. Then that's, you might have the parrot rule. I got the stutter rule. I'm looking at you, lady in the water. And any other where a character's main only trait is that they stutter, you're in for a bad flick.
I'm sure I could come up with a good movie with a stutterer.
I'm waiting, and I will be.
Private Parts, the Howard Stern movie. That's got Stuttering John in it.
Good call. Okay.
That is a pretty good movie. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay. Where are we? Michael Myers. What's Cookie Woman? I have a note here.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Before we get to Cookie Woman, I forgot a major note I made. It's great. It's the only time in the movie that I rewound because I wanted to make sure I was right. When Michael Myers kills Tina, he kills her with a visibly rubber knife that bends, completely bends on her chest. So I rewound it. I said, surely I couldn't. And yes, he stabs her and it bends on her chest as she screams.
I don't even remember that happening,
It
man.
fucking folds on her chest. I mean, they're not even trying. I mean, most of the deaths here are pretty bad. Like they're not bloody, they're not gory, no effects are being implemented, and this one is just literally a fucking bending knife which kills her. So she does a good job of screaming whilst being stabbed by that.
My favorite fake thing in the movie was the sex scene.
In the barn.
In the barn, because the noises they're making aren't matching up with their lips. So it's like they weren't loud enough having sex, and so like someone did some ADR for this movie that was just moaning the sex noises.
Did you like the 1989 insertion of a condom in it?
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah, she says something like, wait, we don't have, like, I don't know if she says protection, but she says something like, we don't have anything, and he pulls out a condom and shows it to her.
Oh, right. He, like, presents it to her. I
Right.
do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then Michael kills them with a pitchfork, and talk about a pitchfork killing people. What is this, the latest Weezer album?
Oh! Yeah.
That
You're just going to sit on that one.
That was a joke about the website Pitchfork.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, very esoteric, but good.
Thank you.
I like that.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a very whiny, shouty, cryy movie. The whole movie is just a lot of whining and
Because
shouting.
there's no grounding. Like,
Right.
the last movie had, and not like Halloween 4 is some fucking classic all of a sudden.
Oh, I think it fucking is, man, compared to this. Jesus.
Yeah, but like, it had Jamie Lloyd and Rachel were the two main characters, and they were grounded. But in this movie, like, Rachel dies early. She's replaced by Tina, who's a fucking nut job, and you got Jamie Lloyd. All of a sudden is like this whiny, annoying kid. She's mute half the movie, and then after that, she does nothing but scream and cry.
But I'll tell you what about her. She is my MVP. And you know why? Because they put this kid through such fucking torture in this movie. I mean, think about she is constantly having to hyperventilate and fucking sweat and scream and cry. I just had to give her props for that.
Well, I think Danielle Harris is a genuinely good kid actress. I haven't seen enough of her adult work, and she still acts, so...
Right.
I mean, maybe she's good today, but I genuinely like her in both 4 and 5. I just think the character is annoying in this one.
Yeah, I agree with that. Sure. Yeah. But yeah, so...
So they lure Michael back to the Myers house,
Ugh.
which is now a mansion.
Certainly doesn't look the same as the first time.
It's grown about 17 rooms.
They're adding additions to it.
Yeah. Even though it's in a state of disrepair.
They want to make it like a real-life haunted experience, for Haddonfield. Tourist attraction.
Yeah.
Hello. Haddonfield could be, cashing in on this. They're really missing the boat.
It's true. They could be saying, "Hey, Lonnie, get your ass over here."
Yeah. Put it on a speaker outside.
Yeah.
Every Halloween, the speakers turn on and just utter different Dr. Loomis lines.
The devil's eyes. Yeah. Hey, yeah.
Fuck
Sam
off,
Loomis be
Wade.
making some bank. Yeah. Fuck off, Wade.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
You can't come in this house. The door's made of metal.
That's right. Is that the same house? I can't remember what house they're in at that point.
I don't remember, man.
Anyway, fucking they lure Michael back. He shows up. Roger Podacter from Ace Ventura: Pet Detective is bodyguarding Danielle Harris upstairs.
Oh, good call. Yeah, very famous character actor, that guy.
Yeah.
I didn't know his name.
I'll always remember him as Roger Podacter, the transphobic character from Ace Ventura: Pet Detective who kills himself after finding out that Sean Young is a man.
Oh, wow. I don't remember that at all.
Yep.
Okay.
We got to do Ace Ventura because it's weird about gender politics in hindsight.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Let's do that one soon.
Okay.
We've
It's
never
a one-off.
covered Jim Carrey.
No, I guess we haven't. No, he came up only one time. He was in the Deadpool.
Oh, that's right. He was in Dirty Harry 5. Listen, when we cover it, it is a one-off, but I will also, for all the fans out there that appreciate when I do this, like when I watched Legally Blondes, plural, or when I watched Home Alone 5,
Mm-hmm.
I will try to watch Ace Ventura Jr.
Oh, boy.
Because there was a straight-to-DVD sequel with Ace Ventura as a kid.
Okay.
Okay.
You enjoy.
I will. You don't have to watch that one, Hank.
No, thanks. I didn't think so.
Okay.
So they get up. Let's get to the attic.
Abattoir time again.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. So we're in the attic. He's like trying to kill Jamie Lloyd in a coffin, right?
Yeah, before that, she's like racing up and down a laundry chute.
Oh, it's not. Is it a laundry chute? I thought it was a dumbwaiter.
You know, I don't know what it is because now that I'm thinking about it, it leads down to like a furnace in the basement. So I don't know what that contraption is.
I think it's a dumbwaiter.
But isn't a dumbwaiter meant to like deliver? Well, yeah. If
Maybe someone wants food in the furnace.
Right. The house is from the 19th century, and it used to be a parlor down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Downton Abbey.
Now it's being led by Chris Bauer, and you get to the parlor, and there's some hookers down there waiting to be serviced.
Ooh, lots of Deuce references this week.
Why not?
So Michael, yeah. So I think it's a dumbwaiter, and what's weird about that is I happen to remember that there's also a dumbwaiter in Halloween 7.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we'll return to the well there.
That's Halloween H2O?
Yeah.
Okay.
And fucking... So, yeah, but she ends up in a coffin, right? And she takes Michael's mask off, and he cries a single tear. And she calls him Uncle a lot. Uncle Boogeyman.
Right.
And, but then what happens?
What'd you think of him taking his mask off? And he's got a different hair color than he does in Halloween, the first one.
Yeah, he's not Nick Castle anymore.
No. Well, that wasn't even Nick Castle. That was another actor playing for the unmasking. But
right.
So he's gone from a blonde to a brunette. So
Maybe
that's
that
nice.
hobo dyed his hair.
When he was playing sex games with him.
Yeah.
Oh boy, no wonder he's pissed. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I like Jason unmaskings because he's always in a new state of disrepair. But
right.
Michael, the point is he looks like a normal guy, and that works fine once, but...
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't work anymore. So Loomis appears, and then again in another form of child abuse, uses Jamie as bait to lure Michael into that chain trap where he somehow rigs this fucking... what do you even call that? What do you call that? It's like a rope trap where it like springs it on him and it's made of chains and Michael gets all confused by it. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then he shoots
you're
him with a trank
describing
gun.
it as well as you could, I think.
I tried. There's a name for it, but I'm not an outdoorsman.
It's not
so
a thresher, is it?
It could be.
I think it's a
don't know.
thresher.
A thresher.
Yeah.
Yeah, they use it in Return of the Jedi. The Ewoks use it on Han Solo and the gang.
Yeah. I think it shows up in the Friday the 13th remake too.
Oh, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then, oh, hey, there's one plot element that we have not brought up.
What's that?
Steel-toed boot cowboy guy.
Oh, the man in black. Yeah.
So
sure.
this fella gets off a bus halfway through the movie, and every so often we just check back in with him doing creepy things. We never see his face. He's just trolling around Haddonfield with these steel-toed boots and a cowboy hat.
Yeah, off a bus.
Yeah.
Doesn't have transportation.
No, he gets into town, and at the Haddonfield bus depot, which we will see again in Halloween 6.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't do anything for this movie, but we're setting up that he's important. He has a tattoo that's this thorn symbol, and I don't know what they're doing with this bullshit, but at the end of the movie, they put Michael in prison. Great job.
Yeah.
And the man in black blows up the prison and springs Michael, and that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, and Jamie Lloyd's screaming terrified, and we don't know what happens to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it ends on a cliffhanger, and we don't get another Halloween movie for 6 years.
Great job. I also want to point
Mustafa
out...
Akkad, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. I also wanted to point out something I always thought was funny, is that Michael Myers is always, whenever he's shot or harmed in any way, I want to figure out, I mean, we're given some explanation, but not for this specifically. He's always like unconscious for a certain period of time. You know, it might be 5 seconds, it might be a half an hour.
Yeah.
And then he just awakens.
He pops up like the Undertaker.
It's very strange. Yeah, when he's blasted by shotguns and stuff, he's down for the count for like at least 6 seconds. Loomis shoots him with a tranquilizer dart too much. He's down long enough for them to chain him up and put him in a prison.
I like that they used a tranquilizer dart, though. Maybe what's in there? Maybe like horse tranquilizer.
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
It has to be something powerful. Yeah. Doesn't agree with him, probably, whatever chemical
he gets
it is.
woozy. Buddy. I don't know why I turned into Pauly Shore just now.
So that's Halloween 5.
What do you give it?
1 star.
Me too.
It's a piece of shit. It's the worst one so far.
It sucks.
Yeah. MVP Danielle Harris. LVP I'm going to go with a tie. I was strictly on the cops, who are terrible, but I'm going to go with Mustafa Akkad here.
I like that choice. For rushing this fucker out less than a year after the last one?
And just not making any good choices.
Yeah.
Terrible director. Everything about it just is a fucking mess, and I'm blaming the man who's responsible for the whole thing.
That's fine. Since you're going macro, I'll go micro and give my LVP to Tina. But I gotta tell you, I'm close to giving my LVP to Donald Pleasance.
Really?
Sam Loomis is not good in this movie.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. But is that more Donald Pleasance's fault, or I mean, not really? Right?
I guess it's probably more the writing.
Yeah, I'd say that's a safe
Rage! Bet. Let go of Michael's rage!
Yeah. He's getting along in the tooth.
Did I get too loud just now, Henry?
No, you were fine.
Good. Look, keep an eye on that, ladies and gents. I'm trying to fix a volume issue from the last 2 episodes.
Just then you did.
Really?
Literally, as you said, keep an eye on that. You blew up.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, you didn't on motherfucker. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I got one superhero.
Do you? Okay.
And it's Michael Myers himself. The actor was Don Shanks. And he was in an episode of The Incredible Hulk. And more importantly, he was in The Crow's Salvation.
Okay.
Yeah.
There
Very
you go.
important. Yeah. That's that. That's
All right,
Halloween.
let's move the fuck on.
Yes, please.
Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. 6 years later, Released September 29th, 1995. See what they did there?
This time I do as well. It's near the Catholic holiday All Souls Day. So,
is it?
Yeah. So it's I think it's about a month away from All Souls Day. So they're going for that sort of, I think, religious overtone.
It's also near Rosh
there.
Hashanah.
Right. So they went for Catholicism and Judaism on that.
Catholicism.
Catholicism on
Yeah.
that release. Yeah, for sure. So I'm getting what they're doing. I mean, everyone is like a different holiday. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Budget of $5 million. Box office of $15.1 million. We have a new studio.
And we're in the 90s, man.
Yeah.
So,
This
yeah.
is the mid 90s. And that's why this movie looks like garbage.
Except for the last inexplicably good-looking 20 minutes, which I did some research on, and yeah. But
You know
anyway.
why this movie looks like shit?
Why is that?
It looks exactly like Alien 3.
Oh.
Everyone's
It-
walking through corridors, and the color scheme is piss and shit.
Yeah, but that's only once they get to the hospital at the
No,
end.
it's early on too.
I didn't notice that.
When they're escaping the cult.
Oh, really? I didn't really notice that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this guy, Joe Chappelle, he's got some credits.
Yeah, he's a legit director, and supposedly was not happy with this movie. I think he tried to get Alan Smithee at one point,
Yeah.
but I mean, he's a Dick Wolf guy now. He works for Dick Wolf, but I mean, he directed 6 episodes of The Wire,
Wow.
16 episodes of Fringe,
Yeah.
some great TV shows.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple movies I've seen.
Oh, really? What were the other movies? I don't think I've seen his other movies.
He followed up.
Oh, yes,
Halloween,
I did.
He followed up Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers with another Dimension Pictures release, Phantoms.
Yeah, I saw that piece of shit. That's Ben Affleck, right?
Yeah, Yo Affleck, you were the bomb in Phantoms.
What's that?
That's a line from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Oh, I knew it. Yeah.
And he also, we might revisit him on the franchise. He directed The Skulls too.
Ooh. And Hellraiser, right?
What?
Hellraiser Bloodline.
Oh, but that movie is an Alan Smithee film, so I didn't know that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, is it now? Mm.
So he successfully smithied on that one.
I see. It's the coat. It has. You're right. You are right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
the 4th Hellraiser movie. So we are firmly at Miramax Pictures now. In the very early days of their Dimension handle, which they used for horror and sci-fi. So this movie has producer credits by those little monsters that Miriam and Max gave birth to.
Would that be the Weinsteins?
In the news lately, the Weinsteins.
Yeah, they sure are. Or
And-
he is.
Yeah, Harvey. And supposedly he sexually harassed one of the women in this movie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Oh my God. What?
That main
fucking-
girl, what's her name?
Marianne Hagen.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He sexually harassed
God.
everybody, dude. And how
I mean, it's.
Henry, some
God.
sexual harassment news came out during this podcast. Because
What's that?
that's the world we're living in now. Sexual harassment news every day.
Yeah.
A director has been accused of sexual harassment by more than 30 women. And
Who?
it is James Toback.
That does not surprise me. Is that right?
Yeah.
What's he done? He did Two Girls and a Guy?
Yeah, that's the one I like.
Okay. Yeah, and I've seen him I've seen him in interviews. He seems like kind of a piece of shit. That's not surprising. Another big, fat, ugly fucking idiot. Yeah. Ugh. God, 30 women.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
30 women. It's a common thread among women I know. This is a quote. After someone mentions they were sexually abused by a creepy writer-director, the response is, "Oh no, you got toe-backed."
Oh my God. God, that's so depressing.
A woman said her 1997 meeting with Toback ended with him grinding against her leg in an office. The numbers are staggering.
Oh my God.
All right, it's horrible. It's another horrible thing happened in 2017. Cool.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wow.
I guess this is what happens when your president is a serial sexual harasser. A lot of news about sexual harassment.
Yeah, it pops up. It pops up, and you're not held responsible if you are the commander-in-chief. But
Sure. So, sorry, Hollywood and Toto people. We're having Christian Toto back on soon.
Yeah, he's coming back in a
Keep
few
listening.
weeks. I don't really care. It's so, I don't care. We took a quick political pivot. It's not political. We talk about movies, and this is a big thing that's in the movie news, and it's awful and disgusting.
Yeah.
And that's totally irrelevant to.
So back to Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers. Harvey earned his production credit on this film.
Meaning what?
Oh, by harassing this woman.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The writer here is a fella named Daniel Farrands.
Who's this guy?
He's interesting to me.
Mm.
He's still working today as a producer and a writer, but he doesn't have a lot of credits. He's written a lot of bad horror movies. He's one of these dudes, like, the horror community will embrace you if, you're whatever. But, so he's...
If you've done some... No, I think you're making a good point there.
Yeah.
I think if you've done something in the genre that's even half reputable, the horror community kind of keeps you on.
Yeah.
Is that what you're kind of saying?
Absolutely. His most... That's what... We talked about this in Friday the 13th because that guy who directed Sean S. Cunningham fucked himself over by, like, disowning horror.
Right.
So he's still working. I mean, his last two movies are an Amityville reboot that I never heard of, and this movie Havenhurst that I've never heard of.
I watched the first 15 minutes of that on Netflix.
Of Havenhurst?
Uh-huh.
Daniel Harris is in it.
I turned it off.
Oh, hey, it's got a good cast.
Didn't realize that
Toby Huss and Julie Benz, good actors.
It's real bad.
Okay.
Real bad. Yeah, real bad. But I didn't know that Daniel Harris was the person in it. I might have stuck around now that I know. I've like given her a shot, but it's really bad. You want to do our 95 lists before we get into the movie?
Yes, I do. Wait, real quick. I want to say this movie. Budget of $5 million, box office of $15.1 million. And it came in at number 96 in the box office between an IMAX film called Wings of Courage, which is either about birds or, fighter pilots. Yeah, hang gliding, sure. And Muriel's Wedding, which I think is another Miramax release.
I saw that. I remember that movie.
Yeah.
Not fondly, but I remember it.
If you could go back in time, Henry, and stop Miriam and Max from fucking, so that you could save the dignity and lives of I don't know. So you can save all the women that Harvey Weinstein molested.
Yeah.
Would you murder Miriam and Max Weinstein?
I thought you were going to say, would I not watch any of those movies? And I was going to say, sure.
No, it's like the old Hitler debate. If you could go back in time and kill Hitler as a baby, would you go back in time and murder Miriam and Max?
I'd have them arrested.
But they probably haven't done anything bad. I mean, they raised their children poorly, but...
Right. Oh, arrest. Oh, you have to be. Yeah, the parents. Would I kill the? I think even would I kill Harvey Weinstein? I see what you're saying.
I would kill Harvey Weinstein for sure.
Right,
But
right.
would you kill Miriam and Max?
Boy, I don't know. Would you?
Yeah. Fuck those guys.
All right, all right. Yeah, yeah.
Harvey Weinstein's a monster.
He is a monster. I mean, that's for sure. He really is a monster, and it's astonishing. He
Curse of
should have
Mi-
been wearing the fucking mask in this movie.
No, he shouldn't. I never want to think about that guy again, but I can't fucking stop. News every day, every fucking day of
know.
my life.
Do you think he'll do any? You think he'll actually go away?
I hope so, but I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Yep.
Then he can learn what it's like to be molested.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
This was a Dimension Pictures release, but of course, Dimension Pictures didn't really become a thing until Scream in 1997. That kind of gave them money. At this point, they were a fledgling little division of Miramax, and I think Halloween Bloodline and Hellraiser Bloodline and Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers were sharing a budget. Like that's how little money they had.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Boy, it's funny too because I'm looking at my '95 list, and I'm sure there's some Miramax releases on here.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know.
All right, what's your? Hey, they made great movies for years. No thanks to Harvey. What are your top 10 movies of 1995? I have a new list here. This is probably different from my old list.
Well, I have an honorable mention, which is Nixon.
Okay.
For sure, which I rewatched recently and might even have put it on here. But number 10 is Mighty Aphrodite.
My number 10 is Party Girl.
Oh, I don't think I ever saw that.
Yeah, great Parker Posey vehicle.
Oh, okay. Right, all right. Number 9, Leaving Las Vegas.
Ooh, good one. My number 9 is Hal Hartley's Amateur.
Never saw it.
Mm-hmm.
My number 8 is Before Sunrise.
My number 8 is Todd Haynes' Safe. Wait, Mike Lee?
No,
Todd Haynes?
No,
did I have it right? Okay,
yeah,
good.
yeah. That's a great movie. I love that movie.
Yeah, great movie.
Number 7, Living in Oblivion.
That's higher on mine. My number 7 is Braveheart.
Oof. All right. My number, jeez. My number 6 is Casino.
My number 6 is Before Sunrise.
All right. My number 5 is The Crossing Guard.
Okay. My number 5 is Crumb.
How the fuck is that not on my list?
I got news for you. That is on one of your lists. I wondered about this. I think maybe you have the film festival release or something.
Oh, yeah. I might have it on 94.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I have my 94 list right here, and yes, it is. It's
Yeah.
on my 94 list. Mm-hmm. Okay. Good. Got that covered. Number 4 is The Usual Suspects.
Oh, I fucked up. That's on my old list.
What?
I'll pop off Party Girl. Usual Suspects should be on there somewhere.
Okay.
My number 4 is Danny Boyle's Shallow Grave.
That's also 94, I think. Oh, well. That's okay. That's
right. I probably have that on my fucking 94 list.
Yeah, because it's on mine.
All right.
Oh, this is great. Number 3, Heat.
My number 3 is Living in Oblivion.
Okay. Number 2 is Braveheart.
My number 2 is Heat.
Oh. And the number 1 movie of 1995 for me is Seven.
Mine as well.
Oh, okay.
David Fincher, he'd figured it out. His movies didn't look like garbage anymore. Mm-hmm. And he made Seven.
No comment.
Seven.
Right.
Yeah. So, Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers, starring and introducing Paul Stephen Rudd.
Mm-hmm.
He's there, looking great. Looking like he right off the set of Clueless. But this is pre-Clueless.
Pre-Clueless.
We start in with fucking not Danielle Harris, but Jamie Lloyd, played by a different actor.
Right. She wanted to be in this, but they wouldn't pay her enough.
She should have been in this.
Yeah.
I mean, that would, in hindsight, for like Halloween fans, that would have been like one of the only interesting things about this movie. It's like,
Yeah,
hey,
it's true.
look at Jamie Lloyd all grown up.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And she gets killed pretty quickly. It's almost like a Scream Drew Barrymore situation.
Yeah, it's true.
She
True.
we see her give birth to a baby,
Yeah.
which is very creepy because this is 6 years later, and so she's 17.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah. She has to be.
And this cult, I guess, impregnated her and forced her to give birth. And someone helps her escape the cult. She gets out of there. Michael Myers wakes up. He's after her. He's on her trail. She stops at a bus depot, leaves her baby there.
Yeah. Yeah. Smart.
In what looks like a filing cabinet in a public restroom. I'm not sure.
I couldn't figure that out either. Yeah.
And she gets away. Michael traces her to is it another barn?
Looked like it to me.
I didn't know Haddonfield was so rural.
It's very strange. Yeah, it's one of these towns. It's clearly got some off roads. Yeah.
And he murders her. And he seems content for a second because he's going to kill all the members of his bloodline because that's what he wants to do. But then there's like a fake baby in the car, and he's got to find this baby. So that's the premise of this movie: is Michael Myers trying to find a baby to kill.
Right, and
It's
the only
bummer.
And the only reason that we know anything is going on is because before she dies, Jamie is able to call a radio station.
Oh right, there's a shock jock in this movie. I mean, 1995, I guess, was the height of like Howard Stern mania.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, this guy is just a shocking radio disc jockey.
Right. And so Loomis happens to be listening to the same show with his co-worker, ex-colleague.
Excuse me,
Mhm.
I'd like to talk about this colleague
Yes, please. Franchise crossover.
of more than one movie.
Yeah.
This, of course, is Greg's dad from Dharma and Greg,
Right.
who I've talked about for some reason
Yeah.
ad nauseum on this fucking podcast.
Yeah, it's true.
What's the actor's name?
I'm
Have I gone into
Mitchell-
Loudville, by the way?
No, you're fine. You're
Okay,
fine.
Good.
Mitchell Ryan.
Mitchell Ryan, Greg's dad from Dharma and Greg.
McAllister from Lethal Weapon.
Yep. He was also in A Dirty Harry.
Right, he's McCoy in Magnum Force.
Anything else?
Not that we've covered.
I feel like for like a month there, we talked about him every week.
Well, we might have. I mean, we might have referenced him a lot in the Dirty Harry or Lethal Weapon series. I don't know. Or you just felt like saying Dharma and Greg's dad for a while.
Well, it's not incest. He's Greg's dad.
I don't know what the show's fucking about.
Oh,
so-
Dharma and Greg, she's a hippie. He's a straight-laced guy. They get married.
News to me. News to me.
He's the straight-laced guy's dad.
So
he's, Dharma's always doing crazy stuff in their big house, and he's like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
News to me. Yeah.
You ever watch Dharma and Greg?
No, why the fuck would I?
I don't know. You're lucky. It's a terrible show.
Yeah.
I watched every episode of that fucking thing. It was the 90s. I loved sitcoms.
Yeah, sure. I know.
Mhm.
I know you did. It's all right. Yeah. Yeah. So, what do you want to say about Phil Rudd?
Paul Stephen Rudd? You're making an AC/DC reference, I see.
Phil Rudd.
We first meet him being a creep. He's pulling a Wes Bentley in American Beauty.
Yeah, he's slipping the bass.
Oh no! I should have known. I should have fucking known.
He's slipping the bass.
Is this the first movie we've covered with Paul Rudd?
I think it might be the first movie that we're slipping the bias where he's in it.
What
Yeah.
are your overall thoughts on Paul Rudd?
I love Paul Rudd.
He's a treasure.
I love him. I absolutely love him, which is why it pained me in this movie to see him be so bad.
He's good at. I like him in this movie.
He's terrible.
MVP.
LVP
What?
with honor. He's terrible.
But
And
there's a
I
couple
loved it.
moments where he reacts to something,
Oh,
and he should be reacting more seriously, but he's giving a little Paul Rudd in it.
that is absolutely true. And I couldn't really tell if he was Paul Rudding it yet, or if
He
he was,
is.
or if he was really just trying to figure out his acting. Like
No,
what he
think
was.
no, because he's already perfect in Clueless, which comes out like the same year.
Yeah, but he's on the correct ground in that movie, like, comedy. Whereas in here, I don't know if he wants to, I couldn't tell if he wanted to figure out if he wanted to play it as in on the joke, this is stupid, or play it dead serious. It was hard.
Well, I think that's piss poor writing and directing, but I think there is an element of Paul Rudd that's trying to just listen. If I'm going to be in this shitty movie, I'm at least going to have fun myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we meet him. He's staring into this girl's house while she's changing, being a real creepster. But it turns out that he's Tommy Doyle, the kid from the first Halloween.
Yeah.
Which
In
is-
a plot turn that I kind of liked.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
And did you hear they tried to get the original Tommy Doyle?
I think I read that.
But he wasn't acting anymore, so they didn't know how to contact him.
Oh, right. They couldn't get his agent, or if he
Yeah.
had an agent. That's ignominious. Okay. Yeah.
Amazing. So Rudd, he hears that shock jock, that
Yeah.
report on, basically Jamie Lloyd yapping about Michael Myers, and she asks for Sam Loomis in the radio thing.
Right.
So he goes to the bus depot.
Yeah.
He tracks her down to the bus depot. It's the next morning. He finds this big trail of blood
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
leading from the phone booth.
Nobody's noticed it yet.
Nobody's noticed this giant trail of blood. Nobody's cleaned it up. It's the middle
No.
of the workday.
Well,
but
it is a bus station, so
they're just like, well, blood. It's all
if
over
this
the
was
place.
Port Authority, we both know there would be no cleanup of that. Yeah.
So he follows the blood into the restroom. I'm not sure whether it's a man or woman's restroom,
I'm not sure either.
but he finds he hears a baby crying
Yeah.
in the file cabinet next to the sinks. And he finds the baby. No one's found this baby. No one has pissed since like late last night.
Or if they have, they've just ignored it. Yeah.
The baby?
Yeah.
Honestly, I guess if I heard a baby while I was trying to take a piss and get on a bus, I would just leave.
I'm reiterating, it's a bus station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he takes the baby to Sam Loomis.
Yeah.
And then we get this great meeting of the minds. Paul Rudd and Donald Pleasance.
Really do.
Donald Pleasance on his last licks in this movie.
Aw,
He looks
yeah.
like he's going to die at any moment.
Yeah. He did.
And sure enough, at the end of this movie, there is like an in memoriam
Mhm.
card for him.
Yep.
Was Donald Pleasance celebrated at the Oscars that year? I sure hope so.
I hope so too.
Yeah,
I bet he was.
probably. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're introduced to a new family, the Strodes.
A pleasant bunch.
So this is descendants of the family that adopted Laurie. And I guess they're close enough to Michael Myers' bloodline to want to, so he wants to kill them.
Oh, God. Hard to keep track of who's who now.
And the
Yeah.
Strodes are living in the Myers home.
Which the abusive father knows but never discloses to his family.
The abusive husband is amazing.
Yeah.
He might be my MVP. He's crazy.
Wow, what an asshole he is.
This could have been a good role for Harvey Weinstein.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
So it's a family. What is it? There's like weird kids. There's a teenage daughter who's the character we're supposed to care about in this movie, and we kind of do.
I liked Marianne Hagen in this.
No. The performance is fine, but it's an underwritten character.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, when she's on screen, I really liked her presence and her charisma. I thought she was very good.
Supposedly,
as Kara
Harvey Weinstein told her to lose weight and that her chin was too pointy.
Fuck. Oh,
Hollywood.
Getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
Oh.
So then there's the wife who's sort of like a meek woman. She looks like, I don't know.
She looks like some parent who walked off the set of The Breakfast Club. I mean, it's a little overdone, but yeah.
Yeah, she's wearing glasses. She's got short hair. She's like a real mom figure.
Yeah, like 1,000% mom figure.
And the dad, I guess, he's sort of like a poor man's Christopher McDonald or something.
Christopher McDonald. Now, what's that a reference to?
Christopher McDonald. He's a character actor.
Oh, I probably know him.
He's a good actor.
I don't know the name. Okay.
But this guy, I mean, he's always yelling. He's off the chain.
He slaps his daughter, gives her a bloody nose.
Oh yeah, and she hangs on to that bloody nose for a while. She doesn't wipe it off.
That's true.
And the kid holds a knife on him, so it's like, ooh, maybe this kid has some Myers in him.
Yeah, which was funny because that didn't occur to me actually. I didn't think of that. I just thought, oh, this kid's not going to take this abusive asshole father, but it was more of the Sam Hain shit going on there. Yeah.
Let me take a look at the macro of this movie for a second, because it's sort of a fascinating movie to me in that it's an incredibly thin movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's short, and it feels short, and not a lot happens in it.
Well, there's all kinds of cuts in the movie, if you read about it. I read
I know. We could
forever.
have watched the producer's cut of this movie. That
I got to tell you, I don't know what I watched.
Really?
I don't know what. Well, I watched it on Google Play, and they didn't specify. I don't know what it was. If I watched,
I watched on Amazon, and Amazon had both. And we endeavor whenever possible to see the theatrical cuts of the movies on this podcast.
That's what I do.
Yeah. So I specifically watched the theatrical release of this movie.
Oh well, maybe I saw. Maybe I didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you saw the producer's cut. It's a little longer. Was yours over 90 or under?
Oh, mine was, I think, definitely under.
Okay, then you saw the theatrical release.
Yeah.
So this movie, while being incredibly thin and almost nothing, is incredibly dense with backstory and plot and exposition.
Yeah, true.
And I think that's because of this writer, Daniel Farrens, who was clearly a big fan of the Halloween franchise. And so more than trying to write a movie that makes sense and is satisfying as its own entity, I feel what he's trying to do is to make everything make sense in continuity of the first 1, 2, 4. He ignores 3 like everybody else, but he's trying to make 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 work in continuity.
Sure.
Together.
Yeah.
And so we get references to Sam Hain from the second movie. We get a lot of references to the Thorn, the Circle of the Thorn, or whatever it is, from the fifth movie.
Right.
We're trying to pull everything in and make everything make sense. There's a lot of talk about Smith's Grove, the hospital he was in the first movie.
That's right.
And we even try to tie that shit together by making a doctor from Smith's Grove, Greg's dad from Dharma and Greg, into the Man in Black from the fifth movie.
Right.
To the point where I read that Daniel Farrens tried to contact the writers from the fifth movie to ask them what they intended to do with the Man in Black.
Yeah.
And they were like, we didn't know what the fuck was going on. It was a directive from Mustafa Akkad. We stuck it in there. Do whatever the hell you want.
I didn't read that.
Yeah.
That's great.
So that's basically what he did. This
He
movie,
really tried, yeah.
all Halloween 6 is a continuity exercise. And it works on that level, I guess, but it doesn't matter because in the seventh movie, we're ignoring everything after the second movie.
Right. Well, I don't know that yet. Yeah.
So taken on its own merits, Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers is fine as a continuity exercise, but does not work as a story in and of itself.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that it's a bad movie, but it is not nearly on the threshold as bad as 5. Not that we're done yet, but you know what I mean?
I totally agree. And I think it's got a... it's competently made, sort of. It's not competently edited, but...
No. But I thought
it
like
looks like a horror movie from 1995. Like, it doesn't look that different.
Right. I thought the last half hour, I thought once they got to the hospital, I thought everything got better. I thought there was like a noticeable, almost to the point where it looked like, and I could be actually completely on the nose here. I don't know. It almost looks like they changed directors or producer or something. Like they took one of those versions, and because it looks like and feels almost like, to me it did, and this is why I'm still not sure which cut I saw. It feels like a different movie. The lighting is different to me. The shots of Michael Myers are different. It's a little more suspenseful. Everything seemed to be a little ratcheted up.
Considering the problems they had making this movie, it's very possible that multiple directors worked on this thing. I don't understand. Tommy Doyle's a weird character. He's American Beauty. He's Wes Bentley in American Beauty in the early goings. They sort of try to change that later in the movie. He's a little bit more Rear Window. Yeah,
and the movie turns into like the cult stuff really turns, especially with the old woman, Mrs. Blankenship. When it turns out like everyone's in on this thing, it turns into like Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, or Murder on the Orient Express.
Yeah,
It is very Rosemary's Baby, though. You're right. Everyone's got robes. There's like blood sacrifices. They're like in an underground cavern under the hospital. By the way, is this the same hospital? I would love for them to go back to Halloween 2 and reshoot some stuff with Laurie finding this underground cavern. But it's got torches on the walls and bullshit. It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, I did pick up on a couple of things, and I was right on one of them, and the other one I just know I'm right. The boy who is supposed to be like the heir, the little kid Danny, I figured, I wonder if they're referencing The Shining in that, because that's the little kid's name in The Shining, and they were. That's why they named him Danny.
There you go.
And when Paul
Stephen Rudd, sorry.
When Paul Stephen Rudd is trying to knock that door down, like really vehemently break the door down to rescue.
He has some of his best Rudd reactions during that, by the way.
Oh yeah, it takes him a long time to slip that bias. And did you notice the number on the door?
No.
Room 237.
Oh, is that The Shining too?
Uh-huh.
Joe Chappelle, a Shining fan, apparently.
Clearly, yeah.
Yeah. So the movie hits this crazy wall, and the Man in Black was Win from the sanitarium all along, which makes Sam Loomis even dumber than he's been this entire series. It's so stupid. Does Rudd escape? Yeah, right?
Yeah, everyone. All of them do.
Everyone turns out okay. And,
Tommy and Kara and the baby and the kid all get out of there, and Loomis doesn't go and says, I have a little business to attend to, which I don't know, just leave. But, It also, by the way, makes Wynn very stupid. The man in black very stupid because he wants to recruit Loomis into this cult. And if they've been friends for so long, wouldn't he think that Loomis wouldn't really be interested in joining this?
Or wouldn't he have tried this maybe 17 years ago when this all started?
Yeah, I would think so.
It's
Yeah,
garbage.
little
But
late
look,
for the
all it
party.
is Daniel Farron's trying to patch up continuity holes. That's this entire movie. This is the movie equivalent of fucking what do you use on walls?
Wallpaper?
No, when you're like patching something up, that white shit, you like
Oh, spackling.
yeah, the whole movie, it's the film equivalent of spackle.
Yeah.
Also, I don't like how Michael Myers looks in this movie.
I haven't liked how he's looked in
A while, I know.
Yeah.
But I mean, in this movie, the mask is weird. His lips are too pursed. He looks like Gary Shandling after the surgery. And I don't like the title of this movie. Apparently, it was like an in-joke, The Curse of Michael Myers, because the movie was so difficult to make.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
The original title of this movie, apparently, and get ready for this. This is such a 90s title. Halloween 666. The origin of Michael Myers.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. That's great. That's like a little Jason X action.
Yeah, love
there.
it.
Excellent. Yeah.
All right, so that's the movie.
Yeah.
What do you give it?
I'm giving it 2.
Honestly, I'll give it 2. No, I'm giving it 1. I gave Halloween 4 a 2, and Halloween 4 is so much better than this.
It is, but this was so much better than 5.
I agree, but I think it belongs more in the realm of 5 than in the realm of 4.
I agree with that as well, but I wanted my hatred of 5 to stand out. So,
Who's your MVP?
Kara Strode, Marianne Hagen.
She's very good. I'm going to go with Paul Rudd. And it's not because of the performance, honestly. It's because I've got nothing to care about in this movie. So at least I can be like, hey, look, it's Paul Rudd.
Yeah. I think that's why he's my LVP, and it's kind of a winking LVP because I know that it's a joke, and he's probably was in on it, and he is very bad in this, and but it was very enjoyable to watch him. So he's getting probably the first happy LVP.
Henry, can you try to set up an interview with Paul Rudd where we only ask him about Halloween 6?
Sure.
And slipping the bass if you want.
Yeah, I'll see if any of my contacts can get a hold of him.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Any superheroes? Oh, yes! I just realized. Ant-Man.
Ant-Man!
Yeah.
That's the biggie.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd is Ant-Man. And there's only one other one who we did cover already. Mitchell Ryan, your boy. He was in Judge Dredd.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, but the big one, Paul Rudd, Ant-Man. Yep.
Okay. So, that's it. Tune in next week, gang. We're going to be covering Halloween 7. Well, what is it? It's Halloween H2O.
Yep.
The 20 years later, right? That's what it's called,
Right.
the full title? Halloween
I think so.
H2O, 20 years later. And you can...
And
I'm
Resurrection.
so distracted. Yeah, Halloween H2O 20 years later and Halloween Resurrection. That's what we're covering. So Halloween H2O is directed by Steve Miner, who we've already dealt with. He directed Friday the 13th, parts 2 and 3.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about Josh Hartnett. We're going to be talking about Michelle Williams. We're going to be talking about Jodie Lynn O'Keefe. We're going to be talking about LL Cool J. All the greats. And we're going to be talking about Adam Arkin.
Ooh. Yeah. All right.
And Halloween Resurrection, we'll be talking about Tyra Banks. We'll be talking about Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes.
A lot of rappers coming up.
Yeah. In Halloween 7, I can once again shit on Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, excellent.
He gets an ice skate through the face. We can talk about Kevin Williamson again. He's around.
Oh, all right, all right. I'm definitely recalling parts of H2O, but Resurrection I've never seen at all.
I'll say right now, H2O is great. I love it. I mean, I hope it holds up. I haven't seen it in years.
Okay.
But I remember liking it a lot. It's very post-Scream, but it's good.
That's what I was expecting.
And Resurrection, I remember being a tremendous piece of shit. But but maybe it's fun?
Yeah.
Question mark? We'll see.
Right, right.
Hey, gang, follow us on Twitter at Pod Franchise. Follow me on Twitter at Low Stakes Daniel. Hey, last week's guest, Jason Harris, has a Twitter, and I didn't bring it up. Jason Anthony Harris. His Twitter is at PubSpeak for his band Public Speaking. And still check out his new album, Grace Upon Grace.
Yes.
I listened to it this week. It was great.
Great. I read the story that he sent out with it.
You did? I would love to read that. I want to.
It's great.
At Space Cadet Juan says that Jason was great, but what's with this bit where Henry pretends not to know why they release Halloweens in late October?
What does he mean by what's with this bit? I don't know what he means. There's no bit. I'm trying to figure out why they're releasing these movies.
I think you're doing a great job so far.
So do I. I don't know what he's talking about, but
I
I appreciate the feedback.